What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nerdy Mark channel. I am Sid the Nerdy Mark, and today I have your review of AEW Dynamite and NXT. So let's begin this video with last week's question mark as well as this week's question. Last week I did ask if there should be a babyface faction to combat the Inner Circle. Tim once again has been coming in clutch, and that's kind of why I want to do it in the beginning. More people will answer the question if I put it in the beginning versus, if you wait until the end. So anyway, but Tim's answer was that the babyface faction is the Elite, but it looks like it's the Bucks, both Rhodes and MJF. That makes sense. I can totally see that. So good answer there, Tim. But now this week's question. So AEW has AEW Dark, which is all their dark matches, and they're airing it on the AEW YouTube channel for everybody to see, free to view and whatnot. NWA Power at the same time also airs its special on Tuesday. It airs their episodes. They air them every Tuesday. Because of this, I was wondering, we have 205 Live on WWE. We even have NXT UK. But my question is, do you think that 205 Live should also air on WWE's YouTube channel, or is it fine on the WWE Network? Why or why not? Leave all your comments and answers in the comment section below, and your answer could be on next week's video. So before we begin, another cool thing that I want to talk about, because we were talking about NWA Power. So last week, me and my boy Tim on Saturday, we actually did review NWA Power, AEW Dark, and 205 Live. All three of them on this channel. I want to be doing this every week. We'll probably alternate channels every week and do this. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully this Saturday on Armbar Audio, we'll have that for you. But anyway, so I went ahead, I had made the social media posts and everything like that saying, hey, our video is up. Please go check it out and whatnot. It was a great time, by the way. Please go watch it if you haven't already. But on my Instagram, who should leave a comment but NWA's Instagram themselves? It was the official NWA Instagram account. They left me an awesome little comment. I'll put it up right here. I just want to say that just felt really good and really, really special. And I want to give a big shout out to NWA Power, NWA and NWA Power and everything for the acknowledgement and I guess their stamp of approval and their blessing, for lack of a better word. It felt really good to see that. It really brought a smile to my face and brightened my day, especially because it was in the morning. Yeah, so it was just really, really cool to see that. I'm just so excited about it. But yeah, thank you so much, NWA, for, like I said, for your acknowledgement. I will absolutely continue watching your product. I watched this week already, and quick thought, it was fantastic. If you're not watching NWA Power, do yourself a favor, go check them out. I'll leave a link to their channel in the description below. They're not paying me to say any of this, I promise, hand to God. But it's just a great show. I highly suggest you support it and check it out. But with that being said, let's dive right into this week's flagship wrestling shows. I guess that's what I can call it now. But we'll start with AEW Dynamite. We begin AEW Dynamite with a championship tournament semifinal match, a tag team tournament match. We have the Lucha Brothers taking on Private Party in a really good match. Like, holy crap, this was an early contender for match of the night for me. So really liked this one. I thought it was just everything that I wanted from both these teams. I mean, this is like a dream match that I never thought I wanted. Again, another match that I never thought that I wanted, including, this includes Janela versus Kenny Omega. Also a match that I never thought that I wanted until I got it on AEW Dark last week. So that was great. But anyway, Lucha Bros do finally win when they hit their double team finisher on Private Party to advance to face off against the winners of SCU or the Dark Order. And speaking of SCU and the Dark Order, their match is up next. We have some great action here. I'm going to be honest, I actually liked this match a lot more than I thought I was going to. I felt it being just a tad bit repetitive with Frankie Kazarian hitting cutter after cutter after cutter. I really liked it. I thought it was just some really good stuff. While this is happening, we do have the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho, Sammy G, and Santana and Ortiz walking up the ramp and actually coming in as fans. So they bought tickets to the show, and they're sitting in the luxury box with, of course,
a little bit of the bubbly
and some popcorn. So Sammy G wastes a crap ton of popcorn in that, and that kind of made me feel really bad. And I'm just like, why would you waste all that popcorn? But anyway, finally the SCU do win this match, and next week we will have our finals, Lucha Bros versus SCU. Bit of tension between these two teams, obviously, as they did incapacitate Christopher Daniels. So looking forward to see what happens next week. This should be a good match. We now go to a rematch from AEW Dark. Last week we have Kenny Omega taking on Joey Janela. Regular match is not a hardcore stuff, none of those stipulations, but nonetheless a fantastic match. I loved every bit of it too. This, again, like I said, this was another match that I never thought that I wanted until I got it. Awesome stuff here. Kenny Omega, I kind of understand why he's going after Janela, is because he's trying to get in the head of Moxley. Kind of like how John Moxley went to Japan, kind of get the mindset of Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is getting into the mindset of John Moxley by defeating Joey Janela. Although, if Kenny Omega really does want to get into the mind of John Moxley, he can go over to the rival promotion, become the third member of the Shield, and get stabbed in the back by Seth Rollins. This was just great. Match does finally end with Kenny Omega putting away Joey Janela, the bad boy, with the one-winged angel to win the match. This was great. Looks like Kenny is back to his winning ways. However, poor Joey Janela still needs a win in AEW, so hope that comes sometime in the near future. We did get Cody Rhodes in the ring next. He was about to make a announcement, but we had the Inner Circle, sans Jake Hager, who is suspicious in his absence. I didn't know what did he do? Did Chris Jericho give him the day off or something? But anyway, they had noisemakers and stuff like that, and they were, playing them while Cody Rhodes was trying to make this announcement. Chris Jericho finally gets on the mic, boos Cody, says that he hates him and he sucks, and the Rhodes family sucks and whatnot, and they're a bunch of cowards. Cody basically takes another shot at WWE, saying that this is not like the company that we both came out. There's no glass wall right here. I can totally just come out of this ring and go up there whenever the hell I feel like it. Chris Jericho taunts him into doing it, but he says it's 4-on-1. Out comes his big brother, Dustin Rhodes, to even out the odds. Jericho says it's 4-on-2 though, and out come MJF and Diamond Dallas Page to even out the odds. So kind of close to the team that Tim was alluding to. All four of these men make their way up to the luxury box area, and Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle, they go and lock themselves into the luxury box. And obviously Chris Jericho taunts him, says, "Ha, what are you gonna do?" MJF hands over his scarf to Cody Rhodes, who wraps it around his fist and punches a hole in it, and a huge brawl ensues out into the concession area, and it was just amazing. Cody Rhodes just planting Jericho's face on a Dippin' Dots cart. My boy John was there, and he was sending me some pictures, as he was watching from overhead, and it was just looking absolutely crazy. So that was pretty awesome. Finally, of course, they do security and police do pull both men apart. Chris Jericho keeps flashing his ticket and saying, "We brought tickets. That was pretty cool. But up next, we do have the Young Bucks taking on the Best Friends in another fantastic match. My goodness, all the tag team matches this week were really good across both shows, actually. So yeah, it was just really good stuff. We did also have Orange Cassidy getting involved a little bit, hence the orange shirt, I guess. No, not really. I just threw this on. But Orange Cassidy even got involved a little bit, put his hands in his pockets and hit a suicide dive onto the Bucks. That was great stuff. We did get the infamous Falcon Arrow from Chuck Taylor. The Bucks kicked out, and he, of course, exclaimed, "No one kicks out of a Falcon Arrow." Again, you have not watched the Seth Rollins match. Everyone kicks out of that Falcon Arrow. So anyway, despite the interference from Orange Cassidy, the Bucks put away the Best Friends by hitting a more bang for your buck onto Chuck Taylor to win the match. Afterwards, they cut a promo on Santana and Ortiz and accept their challenge at Full Gear. So it looks like we are getting that match, which should be fantastic. So I'm excited for Full Gear. Next up, we do have Pittsburgh's or Britsburgh's very own Britt Baker, Baby DMD, taking on Jamie Hayter in a pretty decent match. I didn't think it was amazing. This was, I'll be honest, this was probably the weakest match of the show. Honestly, AEW's women's division, they need to absolutely step it up. I mean, they're not bad. There are some good women in the division, like Nyla Rose and of course Riho and all that, but it just feels very, very depleted. We got some Joshi wrestlers, but they're not on screen every week, and they don't seem to be as much attached to AEW as maybe like a good handful of the women are. But I heard that there was a dark match involving some more of the women, so that should be interesting. Hope to see it this coming week. Hayter looked really good throughout. She definitely got the better of Britt Baker for some time. However, Baker does turn the tides. Oh, by the way, Britt Baker did get a really good entrance with the Pittsburgh Steelers mascot and a video package, because she is from Pittsburgh and whatnot. So that was pretty cool. And the match finally ended with Britt Baker winning with the lockjaw. What do you know? A city native winning a match in their hometown. What a novel concept. I just wish other companies would grasp this concept. Good match here. Afterwards, we have Jamie Hayter having an interview about her loss, but Brandi Rhodes comes out and attacks Jamie Hayter and looks at the interviewer as if she is possessed. Has she been hanging out with Allie, and has Allie transferred all her dark powers to Brandi Rhodes? We'll see what happens next week. Hopefully we'll get some more information on this, but looking forward to see where this goes. And finally, we do get our main event. Jon Moxley taking on Pac in what was actually going to be a fantastic match. This was just really good stuff. Jon Moxley entered the ring. By the way, I love the way Justin Roberts says Jon Moxley. I'm not going to do it, but just go look up clips on YouTube of Jon Moxley entrance, and you'll hear the way Justin Roberts says it, and I love it. It's fantastic. But anyway, before the match could even begin, Pac does come out with a steel chair and hits Moxley across the back of the head with it, and just completely brutalizes him with said steel chair. He even takes Mox's jacket and chokes Moxley with it for a little bit. So that was interesting. But finally they do get in the ring and start the match. Good back and forth between the two. Moxley has a huge pain threshold, because Pac kept on lighting him up with kick after kick, but John just kept on asking for more. He kept on saying, give me more. The match was supposed to go on until the end of the show. At the very last minute, John hits a paradigm shift onto Pac, but cannot get to him in time, which allows Pac to kick out after 2. But, of course, the time limit is over. The referee tells Jon Moxley it's the end of the time limit, whatever. John gets pissed, hits a paradigm shift on to the referee, and looks at the camera and says, time limit my ass. And that's how we end AEW Dynamite. We begin NXT with women's action. We have Rhea Ripley taking on Bianca BelAir in a match that was actually very stellar. This is exactly what I expected from this match. We have two women who are powerhouses in their own right, absolutely just giving each other the test of strength, and it was just marvelous to watch. I just loved watching these two. I love watching the athleticism of Bianca BelAir rivaling the brutality of Rhea Ripley. Just all kinds of good stuff here. Just great action. I loved every minute of it. But we did have Io Shirai interrupt as Rhea Ripley was on the outside. Io Shirai came in, hit a Tiger Fate kick onto Ripley, I guess as a receipt for Ripley's words last week. So yeah, Bianca BelAir does try to capitalize by hitting a huge spear, but Rhea does kick out. Afterwards, Candice LeRae comes out and attacks Io Shirai, evening out the odds. And while this is all happening, the match ends when Bianca BelAir goes for her KOD finisher, but Rhea Ripley does quickly convert it into a Riptide to win the match. Good match here. Looks like we're renewing the Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae rivalry. that should be really cool. They're having a match next week, as it was announced later, so that's very exciting. Next up, we do have Matt Riddle Bro taking on Cameron Grimes in a mighty fine match. Again, another match that I never knew that I wanted until I got it, because I absolutely love this match throughout. Pretty short for what it was, but I loved it nonetheless. I thought it was just really, really fun to watch. We had a lot of references to Goldberg. We had Riddle chants in the same style of Goldberg. We even had Matt Riddle hitting a jackhammer onto Grimes at one point. So, I mean, the only thing that would have made it even more on the nose would be if they had Pyro and Matt Riddle came out to Pyro. That would have been interesting. But of course, that's not in the budget, unfortunately, so that kind of sucks. But anyway, Tyler Bate is actually at ringside, and he's watching this match. We'll talk about him in just a sec. But yeah, this was a really good match, like I said. We did have Cameron Grimes finally trying to hit the cave-in, which is what he calls his double foot stomp onto your chest. And that was converted into a power bomb, and finally a Roderick by Matt Riddle to win this match. Afterwards, Matt tries to show some bromanship by offering a fist bump to Cameron Grimes, who has none of it. So Matt's like, all right, cool, and he just gets the hell out of there. Not before giving a fist bump to Tyler Bate, who tries to ask Cameron Grimes for a fist bump, but Cameron just pushes him off, goes for his hat, and Tyler Bate punches him. So next week, we're getting Cameron Grimes versus the big strong boy Tyler Bate. That should be another really good match. Next up, we do have Brie, Xango, and a mystery partner taking on the Forgotten Sons. So the mystery partner is because Kushida is, of course, injured, and he'll probably be out for at least a month because, you know, he has a hairline fracture on his wrist, so that kind of sucks. So speedy recovery to Kushida. But the replacement is no pushover either, because it is Isaiah Swerve Scott. And my goodness, does he shine in this match. I thought it was just great stuff that he did here. Breezango, now they're coming out as air traffic pilots, and the Top Gun references do not stop. We have references to Maverick, Goose, Step Into the Danger Zone. So yeah, all the references, which is fine. I'm okay with it. I personally think Top Gun is a fine movie. But anyway, the match does finally end when Isaiah Swerve Scott hits a kick, the back kick onto one of the Sons to win the match for his team. That was great stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to see Isaiah Swerve Scott. Hopefully he is considered for the NXT Cruiserweight title, match down the line. And speaking of cruiserweights, we do have Angel Garza taking on Gentleman Jack Gallagher for an opportunity to be considered in the NXT Cruiserweight title picture. Leo Rush is on commentary, and he is studying his opponents. Now, I will say this. I do like Leo Rush generally on commentary. I think he's actually just really good. You know, he has the gift of gab and whatnot. But, you know, it just, like, his comments sounded very elementary. Like, oh, that looked like it hurt. Oh, that looks painful. Oh, wow. I mean, no, you're not supposed to do that. You should be taking mental notes, as they were saying, oh, I'm taking mental notes. I like the fact that they are trying to show that he is learning about his opponents, but he makes such generic remarks that I'm just like, I mean, maybe you should just keep those mental notes in your head and not say them out loud, or at least refine them really quick and then say them out. I don't know. Anyway, really good match here. I just was blown away by both these guys. Been a while since we've seen Gentleman Jack Gallagher in the NXT area, so that was pretty cool. But Angel Garza absolutely shines. He does win this match, and him and Leo Rush do have a bit of a stare down, so this was good stuff. Next up, we do get some more women's tag team action. We have Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox taking on Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shaffir. The winner of this match, of course, will get a chance at Asuka and Kairi Sane, aka the Kabuki Warriors, for a shot at the NXT Women's Tag Team title. So that was pretty interesting. It's just really cool that they're kind of incorporating them into NXT again. That was the original vision for the women's tag team titles. We do have a pretty short match. even though Duke and Shaffir do have the advantage very early on, it doesn't take too long for Tegan Nox to get in the ring and absolutely bring it to Shaffir and Duke. She finally does hit the shiniest wizard to win the match. Afterwards, we have Kyrie and Asuka on the Titantron. They are, of course, heels now because Asuka does use green mist and whatnot, and she's wearing like the green face paint on herself, and Kyrie also has face paint, so so they're both proper heels, and it's pretty cool. I like seeing them as heels. They say something in Japanese for the most part, but basically it's just that we're gonna kick your ass next week, so that should be good. I actually am really excited for this match. Again, did not know that I wanted this match until I got it. So I'm talking about the Kai and Nox versus the Kabuki Warriors, not this one. But yeah, I'm excited for this match next week. And finally, our main event. We have the North American champion, Roderick Strong, taking on Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic in a mighty fine match. I absolutely loved it. For the most part, it was Lee and Dijakovic going at each other, and Roderick Strong kind of trying to butt in, but Keith Lee kept on throwing him outside of the ring while he was focused on Dominic Dijakovic. But this would come to bite Lee in the butt because Roderick Strong takes advantage of this, and he completely does hold his own on this. I would say that Roderick Strong honestly felt a lot more like a babyface in this match. I know he's a heel, but he felt a lot more like that because he has basically this gargantuan task, literally and figuratively, of putting these two giant men away. Good showing by all three of these men. We have at one point Dijakovic hitting a Feast Your Eyes finisher onto Roderick Strong on the outside, and Lee and Dijakovic have unfinished business, so they try to settle it in the ring. But again, this does come to bite them in the ass because Lee hits a huge spirit bomb off the top rope, but Roderick Strong comes in and capitalizes and knees Keith Lee onto the face. 1, 2, 3. Roderick Strong retains the North American title. After this, we have the rest of Undisputed Era come out. They beat up on Keith Lee, and out comes Tommaso Ciampa with a crutch. He slowly gets into the ring, staring at Goldie. Out comes Johnny Gargano. Him and Ciampa stare each other down, and then they have DIY chants, and they stare at the Era. But after this, Finn Balor comes out. He looks at DIY and stares at the Undisputed Era, and it looks like he's going to help out DIY, but no, boom, a huge Pele kick onto Johnny Gargano, and then the Undisputed Era go out and brutalize Tommaso Ciampa while Finn Balor goes on the outside and just beats the living hell out of Johnny Gargano. Now, this obviously does connect to what he said on his promo last week, where he said that his future is going to be his past. It looks like the past he was talking about was his New Japan past, because as we all know, Finn Balor was a heel in New Japan, after Apollo 55, after he founded Bullet Club, and he as Prince Devitt. So it looks like we got the real Rock N Rolla back, and he's on NXT. This is pretty cool. We do have the Undisputed Era, doing their thing like this, and Finn Balor. It looks like he's going to do the Undisputed Era thing, but no, he just looks at Gargano and does the finger guns like this. So, looks like we got basically the real Rock and Roll of Finn Balor. We have heel Finn Balor now in NXT. This is going to be crazy. I will freak out even more if he decides to bring the Tongans into NXT. Like, that would be super crazy. And yeah, but that's probably not going to happen. So he'll have to find someone else to basically have Bullet Club 2.0 or something like that. So yeah, I mean, that's just really, really awesome. Finn Balor turning heel. Great move by NXT. Really, really excited for this now. So overall, again, 2 really solid shows from both Dynamite and NXT. However, I'm not going to lie. This week, I enjoyed NXT just a little bit more. I think some of the matches actually were a little bit better than Dynamite this week. And also, Finn Balor's heel turn. That was very much unexpected. Once Finn turned heel, I think that was kind of what did it for me. And I personally will say NXT was the better show, just by a hair this week. So, yeah, but as far as matches of the night goes on AEW, Private Party versus Lucha Bros, Best Friends versus the Bucks, Dark Order versus SCU, and Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. All great matches. On NXT, obviously, Finn Balor is heel turn. That was some good stuff there. The North American title match, the triple threat, really good match. Rhea Ripley versus Bianca was fantastic. And I would say Cameron Grimes and Matt Riddle was really good. Again, a lot of matches that I didn't know that I wanted until I got them. So thank you, AEW and NXT, for giving me those matches. So that pretty much concludes my thoughts on both of these shows. Let me know what you guys thought about AEW and NXT in the comment section below. Also, be sure to tune in this Saturday, hopefully on Armbar Audio, if not over here, for our exclusive review of AEW Dark, NWA Power, and 205 Live. Look forward to see you guys there. But until then, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on social media, and tell your friends about the Nerdy Mark. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for your continued support. This is Sid signing off. You guys take care. Bye-bye.